major things going on this week before we get into the heavy stories or the things that I really want to talk about is so we got some bonuses and some great ways to make money. And so this is what I'm doing right now. I'm following this stuff. And so I'm going to be doing these things over the weekend. So, yeah, robbery contracts. All right. Three times cash and rep on the robbery contracts at the auto shop. So with that, this is the second time I'm going to get to do that. The first time, like I said, I haven't been playing GTA online that long, but the first time I was racking up money. And so I'm going to take advantage of that this weekend. And hey, if you have a car shop, you too might want to take advantage. There's going to be 2 times LS car meet reputation. Obviously, with the car shop, you make rep that way as well. So I haven't really gotten too much into the car meets. I haven't been doing any of those races since I was introduced into it with the mission. Been tied up doing a lot of other things, but you know, there's 2 times rep on that. I actually walked around Simeon's shop, and this is what I really want to talk about. This is why this video exists. So I've got to talk about this so I can get to the point I want to get to. So before we get to that point, so yes, you can go to Simeon's shop to buy cars, and these are the cars that are there on sale. On sale. That is so funny, right? These are the cars that are at Simeon's. These are the luxury autos that are up for sale this week. There are 2 times cash and rep on Vehicle Vendetta Street. I have not touched that. Don't even know what that is or what it plays like. Will I get to it? No time soon. But for those of you who probably have done everything else, you guys might do this, or if you're bored, you'll probably do it. I don't even know what it's like. Maybe I should go try it just to see what it's like. All right, now this the one I'm really interested in is I'm going to have to go to the LS and do those races because this is the prize ride, and it looks very interesting, and I really want that car now, so I'm gonna have to go to those LS meets and start figuring out what's going on there. There's community series, 3 times cash and rep on new community series, and I believe, yep, we got them. Resi's Paintball by Y Resi. It says get tactical in this paintball inspired team deathmatch paintball. That could be pretty fun. It says stay coordinated with your crew and aim for the head. Right, you want those headshots. All right, W Cartland by Wimpendal. There's no better way to relieve your childhood than by launching this colorful go-kart race. And I have not done any go-kart races, and I do think those will be fun. Man, I have to find time to get to all these things. This is crazy. You know, I'm playing GTA, and it's things that I'm doing that I'm trying to get done with doing those things so I can move on to the next part, because I'm like, I've got all these other games I've got to play, but I'm so tied up because GTA has all these things going on and I haven't done but a fraction of them. So I mean, yes, the game's been out for 10 years, but has it had all this content for 10 years? Has it? And then some of the things I'm going to talk about later in this video is some of the things that they should do for content, and I'm like, man, we'll get there when we get there. Let's keep it moving. Moto Blender 2 by Maddie95PL. It says, try to keep your speed up around the bank corners and avoid collisions to come out on top in this well-planned and geometrically inspired race. We got Killer Loop by Loris Shark 88. Gravity is one of your main opponents in this technical stunt race. Try not to lose your nerve on the wall ride. Now that I'm not interested in. I don't like stunt racing. I'm not interested in that at all, so I will not be a partaker of that. That's just not for me. Geometry 2 by Prototype Tom. This is a tight action-packed pistol and shotgun team deathmatch. Coordinated teams could hold the central arena by using verticality, forgive me, to their advantage, but watch out for opponents who are able to flank their way around the entire map. That sounds fun and interesting. And something about a team deathmatch. To me, I think those are fun. I'm not into. I know this is off topic, but those what do you call them, battle royales, when that stuff came, I never cared for that. I always thought a team deathmatch was exciting and fun, and then the team mission based ones like capture the flag, capture the base type stuff. This one says Berry Unarmed. It says by Siokin Siokin. I guess that's what they meant. I guess that's what it meant. It says, what happens when players are forced into melee combat while attempting to avoid dozens of electrified props? Total mayhem is the answer in this chaotic deathmatch we came across thanks to the community series hashtag on Social Club. All right, Ukaringo Palace and Chamber by Early for You. The community series hashtag also helped unearth this beautifully designed stunt race featuring a red carpet rolled out for all competitors as they drive through a cleverly constructed castle. Not into stunt races, so that's not for me. Let's see. All right, GTA Plus. Now this is another conversation piece that I'm going to discuss. I got all these screenshots because when I was reading these things, all these thoughts crossed my mind, and I got all these things I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So let's you know what? Let's just talk about them things. Let's back up. Let's back up and talk about these things. All right. Let's talk about these things. All right. So I was looking at the price of these vehicles, right, over at Simeon's. And so when I was looking at these prices, I was like, yo, I'm not feeling it. This doesn't make sense. Like, why was the Ramos like, was it 1.4 or 1.5 or 1.3, 1.4, 1.4 million? I'm like, what? That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense, right? The Jester was like 2 mil, I believe. The 3-door Honda Civic is like 600K. I'm like, this is crazy. And I was like, okay, why are they doing this? So I'm under the assumption, get in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm under the assumption that because you can make so much money so fast, they want you to pay high prices to keep you from, burning out, right? Maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm speculating. But here's my thoughts on it, right? So why is it that, if there's a speculation here, you could take these cars and bring their prices down, like 3-door Honda Civic. Why couldn't this car be more like $125,000? You see what I'm saying? This makes more logical sense. A rare car, okay, all right. So how would this work? How could you make this work? And this is the things that I was thinking in my head when I was going through these clips. So how could you make these things work? So I listened to a lot of people's videos. A lot of people play the Cayo Preco, and they run that thing as often as they can because that's where they make all their money, right? So there's like a meta way of making money in the game, and because everybody blasted it, everybody does it, right? Like me, I don't jump into that stuff. It was actually a family member that told me, hey man, why don't you got an agency, why don't you go do the Dr. Dre heist, right? The Dr. Dre missions. And I was like, I never thought about that, never looked into it. I've been doing everything else. He said, yeah, man, just go over there. It's a quick million. So I go over there and I go through all the missions. And the first time I go through it, it was difficult because I didn't know what I was doing, didn't know where I was going. But that made it fun. So then I get through all that and I realize that I'm not done. You have to go stand over by, what's this guy? Oh my God. You got to go stand by the office inside the agency. And you have to stand in that little yellow circle because there's 2 more things you have to do after you complete those missions. I didn't know that, so I never finished the Dr. Dre missions, right? So family member tells me, okay, go finish that, go do this, da da da. So I do that, get through the last 2, boom, right? Deliver Dre to the helicopter, and it's 1 milli, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. All right, now I did it again the next day or something. Just to get a better feel for it. And then 2-3 days later, 4 days later, I did it again, and then I never did it back to back because I didn't want to burn out of something. So so I put a few days in between it. Then I said, okay, well, maybe I'll do 3 or 4 of these missions, the first 3 of the missions, and then tomorrow evening when I get off work, if I'm free, I'll try to do the other 3. And that's how I started breaking these things apart. So I still don't play it enough to consistently make great money from it. I don't have time for that. And so I think one of the major problems is the people that burn out from this game, they have too much time to game. Right? So that's the first issue is there's too much time to play video games and you're playing video games too much. And I'm just looking at it for the fact of if you're preoccupied with other things, you're not going to burn out of one thing because you're preoccupied with other things, which means if you're a gamer and you make gaming videos, then you should probably have 4 or 5 different games that you make content on, this is my opinion, so that you don't burn out of a game. And I'm only saying this based on the mindset of what happened with a lot of the people that were making video content for Warframe. They had been doing it for years. There was only Warframe, and they burnt out of it. And then they were like, oh my God, now I've got to try to do something else with my channel. Everybody knows my channel for Warframe, yada, 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 right? So I get it. I've seen people do that. And I would just say, don't gear your channel if you're doing this for a living, don't gear your channel to one video game. You probably want to gear your channel to video games and just let people come see the games you play or whatever it is you do. I don't know. But the burnout, I can see how that's totally possible if this is 24/7 for you. Now, for the cheaters, there's nothing you're ever going to do with that. Cheaters are cheaters. So if you cheat your way through the system and you don't like the game and it sucks, you did it to yourself. Nobody cares. All right, moving along. Now, back to the point, right? So, looking at how the game is structured, right? The Dr. Dre mission can be done like what, every 20 minutes? And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. Maybe this should be something you can only do every 24 real-time hours, right? So if you look at G's Cash, right, in the drug house raid, those objectives you can only do once a day, and selling to the drug dealer, right? If you all the drugs that you can sell to that dope dealer on the corner is only once every 24 real-time hours, right? So that is intelligent because it means now I have to do other things, right? So let's go to some of the other things, like for instance, the Cayo Caprico, right? The Cayo Caprico thing should be something like every 24 or every 48 hours. Don't have to change the amount of money, just change how often it can be done. So then therefore, the people that are playing the game will have to go do other things in the game to keep themselves preoccupied in making money. Because as I'm learning, there's so ways to make money. And for an example, I'll say this. I got an office, then I got the agency, then I find out about the Dr. Dre mission. I don't go to the agency like talking about. I don't go to the agency anymore. Let's be honest. I store cars in the garage, but I don't go to the agency to pick up missions, right? Now, I'm intending to get a warehouse for the cars. That's my next step. It's going to be like $2 million for that. So I'm building for that now. I am a casual player, so I can't do this overnight. I prefer to take my time anyway. So I will be going back to my office for that, but just think about this. If I can't do the Dr. Dre mission but once every 24 real-time hours, and I can't do the Cayo Perico but every 24 to 48 hours real time, then I've got to go do other things, right? So you say, well, what's the next biggest thing to make money? Now watch how this works, right? Now, if you structure it and you go through all the best ways to make money and you put timelines on it, then everybody's going to walk through all the types of game missions and gameplay in the game. They're going to do all of them. You see what I'm saying? You're going to be able to go through all of them. You're going to get a car shop and repair cars and deliver them yourselves. You're going to do that with your biker club. You're going to be redoing motorcycles and delivering those. You're going to be doing your office missions for getting your own cargo. I mean, like for instance, what's this guy, Yangi or something? I don't remember the guy's name. The guy that works for the club, he'll source you a mission to go get cargo for your club. So Yargi, or I don't know what his name is, whatever. So you can call him, right, and then source some work, and then you usually pick up 100K, 140K worth of valuables that you can then sell, right? It goes on your in your club, right? So then all these things you will be doing first and foremost, which gives you more gameplay, more purpose to play the game, uh, just to do all this stuff, because you can't just back to back to back the same simple meta method of making money. That's something that Rockstar would have to cut short by just putting timelines on it. And so you understand, one of the most powerful things that I think Warframe as a game did was it put my building weapons and warframes on a timer. Okay, now some people thought that's the worst thing to have it, you know, walled in by time, but it's like, no, it's not. It keeps you from burning out in the game. You can't just go. Now you can go get in-game credit and buy this stuff, but if you want to take your time and play the game right, you're going to play the game, and you're going to wait that 24 to 48 hours for whatever it is you're having built to be built. Like, was it 2 days for a freaking Warframe to be built? Unless you pay the 45 or 75 of the token to get it done instantly, you know what I'm saying? So you have that instant, you're going to pay to instant, but they time gate it, which for me, this is my opinion, for me, I thought it was the coolest thing, because it was like, okay, I don't have to touch the game for another 2-3 days. I can do something else, because of 2-3 days my Warframe is going to be ready, and I'm going to try that out, right? And so now with that, they'd have to do this. They made it too easy to buy Warframes, right? The price to buy a Warframe is too, it's not expensive enough, right, to make people physically play the game more than buying, right? Because anybody can just go put some money up, go buy a Warframe, and continue to play the game. So one of the things is those prices are not high enough, and if they were higher, people wouldn't want to go the easy road because it'd be costing them too much money. They would want to take the long way and just wait it out, go pick up and make it easier, or make it so that you can buy the components somewhere, or so, because some of these missions to get these components or unlock these things are stupid. They're dumb. It's overly complicated for no reason. Like, I ain't gonna get in all that, but they could do a better way at that. There's some work that can be done to that, but we're talking about the main point, which was the time gating. All right, so in regards, right, I know it's gonna be a long video, but I want to talk about this stuff, so that's what I'm doing. So the time gating, right, with the how often you can do the missions, is going to, one, keep people from burning out in the game, or two, force them to spend more money in the game. Either way, it's a win for you, Rockstar, as a company. Is it going to make people leave your game? No. It's going to make people talk smack about your game, of course. But your content players are playing the game because they enjoy playing the game. All right, they're working to something. They're working up to something. They're in, and get in the comment section. Let me know if you're playing Grand Theft Auto Online. Are you playing it because you're working towards something, or are you playing it because you're bored and all the other games that you can play suck? Post that in the comment section, because I'm under the impression most people just enjoy playing the game. That's why they're playing it. All right. So that's my reasoning for time gating, how it's not a big deal. And then, you know, control. You don't have to control the amount for the payout. The payouts can stay the same. You just time gate it, and that'll bring a little more control, necessary control, to the situation. Now, with that being said, now that we time gate things, we don't need to sell these cars and assets so high in price, right? Like, it's crazy. Like, bring the prices down, because we have to actually play the game to make the money. If I can't do the Cayo Caprico but every 48 hours, then I am not going to be able to rack up all this money and then buy everything and then walk away from the game. You want me to keep coming back to the game and enjoy it, don't make it simple. And I know everybody says, oh, if you make it too hard, nobody wants to play. Everybody seems to want the simple way. Everybody wants the easy way. I want to get here, get this done, and and be done with it, right? But then you get mad because there's nothing new in the game. And the problem is, we can't please ourselves, right? We go to the development team, we say, we want this done, we want that done, to please us, right? Because, you know, we usually want to get through something. We don't want to waste a lot of time in a game, but then we're like, why is the game done with? The game was too short. Well, it's too short because you didn't want to spend a lot of time in the game. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm getting tired of doing the same thing over and over again. Well, you're doing the same thing over and over again because you're doing a meta. You're only doing the meta. You're not doing anything else. So if you're not doing anything else, of course you're tired. I'm telling you right now, I'm playing the Dr. Dre missions every, I don't know, 1-2 days, right? And even then, I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I've done that too many times. I don't want to do that. I want to do something else. So, they have this rotation, which is great. The rotation now is allowing me to spend more time at my car shop because I'm making a good amount of money there, right? So that rotation helps too, but it helps direct you or funnel you to a place to make more money. And if you don't have it, hey, this is what you want to get your money and get into, because we're going to constantly be rotating so that you can make a lot of money. Now, with that being said, if you follow that for your casual player, they're not going to be on there enough to make all these millions and millions and millions to where they can, buy all these expensive, fabulous cars for 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5, and still got to go to Warstock and buy stuff there to continue to grow your business and whatnot. So the prices are kind of high for no particular reason versus how we make our money. Like the hit contract, if you do a hit contract the way it's required, it'll pay you 85K. You see what I'm saying? But that 85K you think is not enough. You could have more because of the prices of the stuff that you want to buy, right? So it's like, okay, well, first off, if the car I wanted to buy wasn't 600,000 and it was like 100,000, then I wouldn't be complaining, right? So then I'd be saying, well, if I do that mission twice, I bought the car. That doesn't make sense. So then you'll say, well, that mission shouldn't pay 85K. You see what I'm saying? Or I shouldn't be able to play it every 20 minutes. You see what I'm saying? So say, for instance, I can do a agency contract hit once a day, and if I do it a certain way, it pays me 85 upwards to $100,000. And once every 24 real-time hours, I can make that phone call and do it. It's the same thing about Yandy or Yango, or whatever his name is. When he gets you a mission to go pick up goods for your club, it pays like 140K. So give it to me. I can only do that once every 24 real-time hours. You see what I'm saying? So now I'll either do those missions and then cut the game off and go play another game and then wait till tomorrow and come back and do it again. Or I'll go do something like PvP or just run around with my friends and hang out with the last little bit of time I got to hang out on the game. You see what I'm saying? So you're controlling how the game is played to a sense where you're not, your players don't burn out of the game and then they want to put it down. All right. So that's how I feel about that's how I feel about that. So, but what else? What else did I want to talk about? Hold on. GTA Plus. All right. So the thing, GTA Plus is not for PC gamers. This is crazy. Like, all right, so they got free things. I got it. And the one thing that I thought was important was for $5.99 a month, you give me 5,000 Grand Theft Auto cash. So I'm like, all right, I'll give you that much just for that alone. But then you get other perks and rewards, and other games on the PC does that. You know what I'm saying? Elder Scrolls Online does that. A lot of games do that. You get perks. It's almost like a battle pass, but most games on PC have battle passes, right? And then you get perks. You have access to all these different things. GTA Plus is only for PlayStation and Xbox. It's not for computer. That's mind-blowing how that happens, right? That's another form of revenue for you, Rockstar Games, that you don't even offer your PC gamers. Like, this is crazy. It's madness. Why don't y'all do that? Could you please offer GTA Plus membership to PC gamers? Okay, this is crazy why you guys don't do that. It makes no sense. And what was the other thing aside from that they don't do? What else was it? There was GTA Plus that they need to add. Oh, the ray tracing and stuff. Like, so everybody's hyped up for GTA 6. I'm hyped up for GTA 6 is coming out, but I'm not in a rush because there's so much stuff going on with GTA 5. In my personal opinion, a story is great. If they're making new story modes, it's going to be on better graphics and everything else. I got that. It's great. Do you technically need a new game? If your engine is old, you have to revamp or something or make a whole new one. I don't know. I don't know if you need to make a whole new one because, unless you're basically saying the engine's old and out of date, we're going to use this new engine. We're going to bring everything from the old that you enjoyed about that and bring it into the new, which is highly doubtful because you go look at GTA 4 Liberty City versus GTA 5 Los Santos. They're really two different games. You see what I'm saying? Two different cities, you know what I'm saying? So whatever you like about this one or you liked about that one, you don't get them anymore because they're not in the same game. So it's kind of like, yeah, are you really hyped up for GTA 6? You know what I'm saying? Like, because then you're going to have to put down GTA 5. And then it's like, if you put down GTA 5, then you're never going to get that game again, right? Because, are they going to incorporate that map into the new version? Like, what else? You know what I'm saying? So you give me a whole nother game all over again, which I've said before is a ripoff. It's a ripoff. Now you're taking away me playing the older game, which I enjoyed so much that had everything in it. We know who just did this. Yes, we know who lied to you all and did this. That's right. Y'all know who did this, huh? How y'all playing that game, loving that game. They told you, oh, yeah, we're going to do part 2 and it's going to be PvE missions and everything's going to be the story and everything else. And they didn't do it. They just gave you the same old game. They did some actual changes to the game, kept it the same, and promised you something that they never had any intentions of doing. Right? It's a touchy subject for people, so I'm not going to say it. But if y'all know, you know. All right? I'll say this. World of Warcraft, Blizzard Battle.net, you know what I'm saying? Message, look to the side, and what do you see? All right. So scroll up on your list and you'll see it down there. All right. This is a touchy subject, man. People are still mad about that, seriously. And I would be too, but I mean, come on, you knew this was coming. You knew once they released more PvP content and they never released anything having to do with the quest mode that yeah, whatever. That's not our conversation today. It's for another day. So anyways, right? So one of the things is that when it comes to keeping us in the game and inviting us to come back to the game, making a new game isn't necessarily it. GTA 5 could probably, if the engine's old, I get it. New engine, redo the game or bring the game into the new engine, right? That makes sense. Bring all that stuff into the new engine. Give us some ray tracing. Give us, FSR and DLSS. Give us all those things so we can enjoy this game. The resolutions aren't the best. Well, the resolutions are great. The graphics aren't the best on GTA 5. Obviously, it's still kind of boxy. You know what I mean by that. So I'm sure it's going to be so much better on GTA 6, but we're going to lose GTA 5. And it's not that you're going to lose it like you can't play it anymore. It's just not going to be relevant. How is GTA 5 going to be relevant when you have GTA 6? You see what I'm saying? So now when you do GTA Online, I'm going to be expecting everything from the 5 online in 6. You see what I'm saying? Like, 1, that's Los Santos, right? Now, unless you can remaster it to look good, right? To like comparable to the new one you're making, which I doubt it. But I mean, you got Red Dead Redemption 2. All right. When you compare GTA Online and Red Dead Redemption 2, there's no competition. Red Dead Redemption Online blows it out the water. No competition, but it's on their newer engine. Now, if you can bring GTA 5 or GTA Online into the new engine, I'm not even in a rush to get GTA 6. And I know a lot of people are going to find that touchy, like, oh, we want GTA 6 to start. Yeah. Well, don't do what just happened with Blizzard, right? We don't need that. We don't need the same game all over again. With new story. You can just give us that as an update DLC content, and you can spoon feed it. While we're waiting for a GTA 6, why don't you just spoon feed us new content? Why don't you spoon feed it as you're producing it, and we just get the new content as downloadable content that we pay for? We can pay for it. It's not a problem. And we can pay for the new downloadable content, which brings us upgrades to the actual system. If you're onboarding GTA to the new system, then why don't you just start bringing GTA 5 onto the new your newer version of the Rage engine? You see what I'm saying? And then start drip feeding us that content, because we'll pay for it. Honestly, we will pay for it. It's a game. You see what I'm saying? So if your DLC comes out and it's like, I don't know, 5 major DLCs is going to bring us into a whole new era, and you charge us, I don't know, $10 to $12 or $15 per downloadable content as updates and upgrades to the game, 5 of them in, you got your $60-$70. You see what I'm saying? So you didn't lose anything, and you're still keeping people playing your game and bringing money into it. So, to me, I don't even understand how PlayStation 5 and Xbox got that update, and for the graphical updates, and you didn't get it on PC. Now, PC has graphical updates. Don't get it confused. They do. But we don't have no ray tracing, right? We don't have FSR or DLSS. I believe that they have that on the PlayStation and Xbox. I have to double check and look that up, or get in the comment section and help clear that up. But either way, those things could be incorporated onto Grand Theft Auto. Like, and I don't know if Red Dead Redemption has it. I doubt it, but that could be incorporated. Why don't you incorporate ray tracing to those titles? Okay. And why don't you incorporate FSR and DLSS to those titles? So then, therefore, we can bump up the resolution and the graphics and still get great freaking. Because you do not get the best. You have to have a very good system to get high FPS, and still good, and you still get some sketchiness with the game. Like, there's some bugs in the game, when you get on the elevator in your agency or whatever, and you'll see the past screen as it's loading to the next one flicker into the new screen, and you'll see, like, oh, there it is again. You know what I'm saying? So there's bugs all over it graphically that could be repaired. But that's just, wow, long-winded. So, what I'm saying? This is part one of the conversation, because I got more to talk about. But I'm just saying, I think that a lot of things can be altered and changed and incorporated to work out better. GTA Plus membership, I think you should offer that to PC gamers as well. I think we should get ray tracing and the FSR and DLSS added to the PC online version of the game. I think you should reevaluate how often we can do missions and how fast we can make money based on how often we can do missions. You should make it so we can do it every 20 to 30 minutes. I think also the good behavior, that stuff needs to be worked on. You should probably offer 50K for good behavior, because that'll make people stay in the lobbies and report bad people in the lobbies. I think that also, whether I'm in CEO or biker mode, I should still be able to stay passive, which means that you can't blow my car up and you can't blow me up, because I'm probably just doing missions. Okay, I'm doing missions, and if I switch over and say I want to be a part of the PvP in this room, then I should be affected. But if I stay passive, I don't want to be bothered. Like, I don't mind seeing the people run around the game doing crazy stuff, and if I so happen to, well, no, because with passive, it won't happen. So if you're blowing up some cars and you're shooting at the police and I fly past that scene, okay, I should be able to get a few bullet holes. I drove through it unsuspected. Boom, I got shot. If a missile hits, if a car blows up beside me and I'm beside the car and it caused my car to catch fire and blow up, yeah, that has nothing to do with a personal attack towards me. I ran into the middle of an environment that was bad, and those are the repercussions. So I think that's one more thing that needs to happen with Grand Theft Auto Online. If I'm passive, don't even show me on the map. You see what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't be visible to the other players on the map as far as a blip. Only visible to the people that I'm in a group with, because I still want to be in the world and still want to be able to, chit chat and everything else. But at the same token, I don't want to be caught in warring conflicts if I'm not in PvP mode. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, the video's long-winded. This is like some of the things I want to talk about, not all. I want to get into a few more other things, but this video's already gotten long, so I'm gonna end it there, and I'll catch you on the next episode.
stay cool. Last thing we want is a fucking panic.
Pinche payaso! Fuck!
Hey, no way out. Just get this shit done.
Find some cover! You piece of shit! Suck my land! Get behind the...
Stop live streaming this and save me! Not fire! Not fire!
You piece of shit! Gotta reload! We got a man down!
Stop! I surrender! Please don't kill me! Please, take the phone, take my laptop, they're in my backpack. All the